Okay, now if I can do this, I guess I can hit this and just, I don't know how this is going to work. I still don't know how this is going to work.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Survivor Circle.
This is about this. This is the new and improved Survivor Circle.
You can hear the kitty cat purring, so I'm going to mute.
Ooh, nice mic. Oh, nice mic. I'm having microphone envy. Ooh, yes. Oh gosh, we're. I still got. Now I got to go to YouTube.
Yeah, you got to go to YouTube.
Find.
See, if somebody else would have ran the audio for you through Mixler, you wouldn't be having this issue right now.
Yeah, this is true, but hey, we're flexible. We'll learn to do it. We can do these things on the fly, right?
We can.
Yes. Just because,
hey, Bobby.
It's not like our advertisers are going to leave, right?
That's right. There you go, Yuffie. The star of the show is over here purring, so I'm gonna.
I found it. Now all I have to do is figure out how to make it go over to the Mixler board, and we'll be good. Okay, so it's there's Bobby and Amethyst on. I have to do is figure out how to make it go. Yes, now I can hear myself talking. Over to. And so I guess that's something. Now all I have to do is figure out how to make this go to Mixler. That should be interesting. 1, 2. Okay, it's not there. Is it coming through here? Something. Now all I have to do is figure out how to make this go to Mixler.
So, Yuffie, are you impressed? Lord Hale got my microphone working for me. Don't tell him I called him Lord Hale, though.
I seem to have something going through to the others.
Now we just got to get rid of the double talk.
To the board.
I kind of think that Charles's new rant for this evening will be cussing on. Are you impressed? Lord Hale got my microphone working for me. The cat's bird.
Okay. So I have one feed. I seem to have something going through to the others.
Now we just got to get rid of the double talk.
Yeah, I'm trying that. Let's try this way. But this is going to be confusing as hell.
This evening will be cussing on.
That's not it. So it's got to go through that. It's got to go that way. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. I have no idea what's going through it.
Well, I guess I could pull it up and we could find out.
I think I have a window here with it open. Maybe that's why I'm getting double feedback.
Yeah, you'll have to mute something.
Using as hell. Fresh. It's got to go through that. It's got to go that way. Okay. And let's see what's happening. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, apparently I have something there. Now I've got 3 feeds coming through my headphones.
So Mixler, yeah, definitely have to mute that, but I don't know how you turn that off. One of them Ron should have been running the audio through Mixler for us, so you wouldn't have to be dealing with us.
I'm just lost. I'm just completely lost.
Oofy said,
I'd like to say as long as if they can hear me, that's fine.
Oofy said to get a kitchen pan and whack it with a spoon to measure the delay.
I've got it turned back around now to the point where renamed looping audio.
Train wreck.
Yeah, it's looping, and I have no idea where it's looping to or from or anything at this point.
Well, it'd probably better if you just turned it off and then let one
I'm
of them
going
do
to
it.
kill it. I hate to do this, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do.
That's
We're
all
gonna
you can do.
everybody get over to StreamYard because that's where it's going to be. Because that's
Yeah,
where
go
it's
to
going.
the Facebook, Earth Radio's Facebook page or YouTube page.
Yes. Close. Cancel.
One of them Ron should have been running the
Close.
audio through me.
Well, I needed to do this.
So you wouldn't have to.
I thought I could do this on the fly, and I can't. So I think we're better right now. Let's try this. Do I still have a double feed?
Yeah, I'm still hearing.
Can you hear me? That's fine.
He said he can kitchen pan and whack it with a spoon to measure the delay. Oofy, honey, if we worked these kinks out before, then your entertainment value would be much less than what it is right now.
Okay.
And plus,
Any ideas of what's going on right now? I think I've got everything shut down. I hope. I don't know. If nobody can hear me, that's fine.
I can hear you.
At least I only hear one. I only hear myself once.
Amethyst will quit coming by.
For me, that's an improvement.
Oh, there's Rockstar.
Oh gosh, that's what I needed. More water. Let's see. I don't even know. Okay, that's still here. And close that. That's still there. And that's somebody's here. Turn off this page. I think I did. I hope I did. And
Oofy said we're going to need a lot more shit talking.
Yeah, there's never enough shit talking. Just crazy.
This is true.
God, my posting for this show was basically how to be sane in an insane world.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
You betcha.
I'm going to mute and I'm going to disappear for about 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
How to maintain your sanity in an insane world. That's kind of what we were talking about. And I'm still trying to figure it out. It's been a long time. Up until like a couple of years ago when all this isolation crap started, I thought I had a pretty good hold on things. And then suddenly, the basis for rationality, it seems like the bottom dropped out, and you have to, then you had, it got where there were no facts anymore. Okay. There were real facts and fake news, and some of it was so obvious that it was inconsequential, because you think, well, nobody could possibly believe that, I mean, I remember the early stories. Well, nobody's dying of COVID. It's just the regular flu, and then it changes, and it changes, and it changes, and no one ever goes back and says, "Oh, well, I was wrong about that," or, gee, there's no way I could have lost the election. There were fake ballots all over the place. There were bamboo ballots that came out of China. There were electronic ballots that were sent in by laser beam through Italy and downloaded into a server in Germany that was overrun by the special forces who grabbed everything, and then it's all just disappeared. Stories and stories and stories. So, we need some way to collectively agree that something is real or not real in order to function with it in the world. It's like a table. I know there's a table here. I know it's a real table. But if I reach over and nothing happens, then it's in my hand, just passes right on through. It's obviously not a real table. And we're almost to that point with everything that we see on all these different platforms, television, the internet, news reports. The fake news reports are every bit as finely tuned and professionally done as real. And that's assuming there is any real German journalism going on anymore, because unless you see it physically with your own eyes, it's almost reached the point where you do not know whether it actually happened or not. And that's pretty sad. That's a pretty sad statement on what I don't know.
Well, that's the way it's always been.
Well, it's never. I didn't think it was ever this bad.
Yeah, it's been that bad. It's always been that bad.
Oh, God.
Good Lord. You think about it. Back in the 1800s.
All these years I've been trusting reality, and it's been entirely fake. I've been living in what was the TV show? The movie where the kid lived in a TV show in a fake world. Truman, yes. I've been living in Truman's world the last 20 years. I don't know. I've just reached the point where I try to avoid the things that really piss me off. And there are some things that just plain piss me off.
I was going to say, Charles, honey, it's not working.
Yes, it is.
It's not working.
Yes, it is.
No. I was in Rockfin today whenever the Kriston. Yeah, I was there. I was giving you shit. You didn't read my comments. I'm just really upset over this.
Well, until I left. And I did leave after a while, because I was reaching the point where I was going to start being really nasty, and I don't like being nasty online. And
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I was about to make a comment about Under Armour, their logo.
Yes.
Is that the new swastika?
I haven't even paid attention.
It appears to me to be the new swastika, because every time, and I like their product. Don't get me wrong there, but every time I see it, it's being worn by somebody who should have a little bar mustache.
I like Under Armour. Don't be putting me in with all of that. Just saying.
I get.
It seems like, and it doesn't matter. Anybody that gets any kind of notoriety, it doesn't matter who it is, what they're doing, clothing,
Well, see, that's the
doesn't
point.
matter. Somebody turns them into some kind of evil empire.
It's the notoriety. If there's no, if the only measure of your credibility is how much attention you get, then screaming fire is the best strategy to be successful.
That's the way it's always worked.
Yeah, you know, I wish I could be more. I wish I were more.
Can you see this on the screen, Charles?
Yes.
I'm going to blame you.
Hmm?
I'm telling Papa that I'm going to blame you.
Oh, you're. I've upset. I've upset you. That's too bad.
Oops.
Oh,
Get over it, sister.
you can. Yeah. I'm trying. No, I don't see. I don't let it get to me. I just don't like to. I don't like to let it go. When somebody tells me a bold face, when somebody tells me that something is black, when I know damn well it's white, you know,
Right.
or vice versa, or red, or green, or purple, or whatever. Don't, you know, and it's not just the shade. It's not whether it's a light green or a dark green. It's so entirely different, you know? And I used to be able to rationalize it and say that the reason that I'm being, well, I could visualize why I'm being told this story. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it was a manipulation of some sort for a motive. Now it appears to be just more manipulation for the sake of manipulation, because there is no out. There's no payout. It's just it's just lies. I don't get it.
But I mean, but seriously, it's just that it seems like now there's more attention brought to that than it used to be in the past years. I mean, you think about it. You came up with a newspaper, stuck it on the Pony Express, put whatever you wanted to on it, sent it off. A week later, everybody's reading the news. And was probably a lie in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
there's has always been, and famously, you know, but
right.
there was so much. I'm working under the impression that there was a baseline of reality that was collectively acceptable. Okay. And I know that was not the only story that could be told or would be told. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I mean, believe me, I was of an age in the 60s to have been there on a lot of these historical. My God, I feel so old sometimes.
Well, but at some point in time, we took what the media said.
I'm looking at something. Someone did a posting on this the other day, and it said in 1960. Okay, in 1960, 50 years before was before World War I. And I look at something now and look at it 60 years ago was 1960. And it feels like freaking yesterday.
Mhm.
But when in
What
1960,
happened?
before World War I was fucking ancient history. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it does twist the mind. Okay.
Well, and then two, think about what we grew up with as history in school is not being taught. And if it's being taught, it's not being taught correctly. You know, the winner writes the history.
Yes. But the
And
thing
that's
is,
just how it is.
most of that history that we were taught wasn't true.
Right. And it's still
It
not.
was it was more legends and folklore than it was history. Okay.
Right.
Daniel, who was Daniel Boone? You know, what
Exactly.
happened at the Alamo?
Right.
Those are things that we were taught quite
Mm-hmm.
distinctly, that there was a very particular story.
Lewis and Clark.
Lewis, yes, the great explorers,
Mm-hmm.
Lewis and Clark. As we have matured as a society, as the information has become more readily available, we have yes, there are shades of gray in the story, in the real history of the story, the more detailed histories of the story. And the fact that those stories, okay, those different aspects of the history are available at all, let alone generally available, is something that didn't happen back in say 1960, you know. And to a great extent, those books were never published, but there were, I guess that's something that we have as far as the histories are concerned. There are a lot of the histories that just weren't available then. You couldn't go to an encyclopedia and get
Correct.
a more detailed, say, itinerary and the background to explain what Lewis and Clark were and what they were doing. Okay. Or the Alamo, or the first settlers that crossed the Appalachians, into the into Kentucky and Ohio, and those bits of history, they were never what we were taught in those days was more legend than reality, because reality was not politically correct. Okay, even then, it was. But I can live with nuanced, and most people can't. I guess can't. They get really. If I say that. Oh God. That the Alamo was almost. I'd hate to call it a false flag, because that's not exactly what it was, but it was an intentional move to allow a big chunk of the North American continent to pass into the American sphere, or the United States sphere, for the sake of continuing slavery, which had been outlawed in the Spanish colonies in Mexico and Tennessee, and Kentucky. That would be in New Mexico. What became New Mexico, Arizona, Texas had been outlawed. And that is something that was never mentioned. Never mentioned at all.
Sorry about that. There's I have to explain to people a lot.
Oh,
I have a lot of animals.
That's wonderful.
And I'm home for just maybe an hour, and they're still all happy, and mom's home, let's torment her, let's beg for this, let's beg for that. And I finally got some of them settled down, but not my deaf wild child back here. So sorry. But that's, okay, so we all want to hear good, positive news. We always do. We want to hear the best of everything and stuff that's going on. But when you hear nothing but good cheer and goodwill on the news, you know that it's not true. You know that it's false. So you're like, okay, so what are they hiding? Why are they just sugarcoating the news and telling me that there's unicorns and rainbows outside? So then whenever you really start getting into it and find out what's really going on, you're not so pleased with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you start finding out how bad that they've been lying to you and all the things that they've been hiding. And it's all because they want to protect you. It's let us make it comfortable for you.
So relax.
The news is bullshit. They're never going to tell us anything.
Sleep quiet. Just sleep, and we'll take care of everything for you.
Exactly. You just do what we're telling you to do, and everything will be fine.
Too often.
So this is where we get into the different opinions, the different journalists. We don't have journalists. We've got independent guys. Now you can't tell me that we don't, because we do.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are slanted, some of them are not. Some of them, they try to not be. Everybody's got an opinion and a belief, and this is usually the way that they push for it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some out there that'll tell you stuff they don't even want to hear come out of their own mouth, which those are the ones that we need. But those are the ones that are silenced so easily.
See it. I will agree with you, Fee, on that. If you want to know the news, you have to learn to read.
Oh, yes.
And more than the headlines. More than the headlines. Surely more than the headlines. You have to go, because I have so often, you read a headline and you jump over and follow the link to the story, and you read the story, and the headline was just the absolute opposite of what was in the clickbait headline is what's in the story. The story, they contradict. It's a total contradiction. But if all you read is the headline, if all you see is the headline, and you jump to your own conclusions from that, you are entirely misguided. And that's just, there should be a law. I don't want to be the sheriff, but there should be a way to make people responsible who are supposed to be professionally responsible. I don't know. I mean, in a way, like some kind of a credibility meter would be nice,
Like a bullshit meter.
Sure, a bullshit meter. I like it. I
That's
like
what Facebook's for. Remember? Fact checking.
it.
They got to
Fact,
check your facts. They got to
fact
do
check.
your little
Well,
COVID.
it
You
is
need to click
so.
here for your information.
I. Oh.
Ooh,
Oh.
I just poked the bear.
Fact checking. See, the problem with I've had this argument for the last 2 years on facts. Okay. And where do you get your facts? Which facts are true and which facts are just made up stuff? Okay. And it is not easy to get facts. You have to be very selective about what you allow to be, what you allow yourself to believe. Okay. And you have to reach a point where the conspiracy to conceal has to be so big that it's impossible. Okay. The first one was when it was no one's dying of COVID. The death rates is just the same as an ordinary flu, maybe a little bit more, but it's nothing to worry about. This is all fake. It's a pandemic. It's a fake. Okay.
Well, see, now that I
In
never,
order for
I
that
don't, never did hear that. Or if,
I remember
I
it.
mean, I just tried to ignore that stupid
Yes.
stuff.
Okay. In order to do that, every county in the United States, I'm thinking I'm just going to throw a number out here. I think it's something like 7,000, has a coroner that counts dead bodies. Okay. They all have to be in on it.
I think a lot of
I can't imagine 6,000 of anything being in on a plan without one person saying, blowing up out the wind, out of the water.
right.
Okay.
I think a lot of some of the things that I was hearing about that was death certificates were being written out as they died with COVID. They died of COVID.
Yes.
When they died
Yes.
with COVID.
Yes.
There was never a distinction.
That's supposed. I mean, that's still being floated, but the point is, in the first year,
Mm-hmm.
okay, as compared to an average year, for whatever reason, and there were several contributing factors, okay, you have over 1 million people who would not have ordinarily died who are dead. And that's just big statistics. That doesn't give you, that's not each one.
Right.
It doesn't say what disease there were excessive deaths from cancer or heart attacks or suicides or drug overdoses or COVID or whatever. Okay. But when you come down to the nitty gritty, okay, the big numbers, there were still, for whatever cause or purpose, there were still 1 million people more died in 2020 than would have been expected under an actuarial table. And that's pretty basic. You can't fake that stuff.
Well, the thing too that they keep trying to turn our heads to, draw our attention away from, is why did this even happen? Now,
Oh, that's another story for another day.
that's the thing.
My opinion on that is that is a loaded pistol that the United States, the Soviet Union, China, Britain, France, Germany have been passing around, playing roulette with for 40 years. Because
Right.
we have to be ready for the next big pandemic. Okay.
Right.
Well, in order to do that, we're going to create it in a fucking lab.
Oh,
That is exactly what they've done.
do you remember the very first stories that was coming out, though? They were blaming it on a damn wet market.
Yes.
And they got that going. And then
the thing is, the wet market story was probably relatively close to the truth. Because
somebody sprinkled it on the food.
Was because they had a class 4, class 5 lab that supposedly at that point was just selling off lab animals to.
But what I'm getting at, though, this is what they've done. Everybody knew.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They had they were telling you that it was coming from a wet market. Nothing escaped from that Wuhan lab. Nothing left there. There was absolutely no way that this come out.
And that was an absolute lie.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Then they started stories.
That was the first cover story. Was
yes.
The lab, the wet market.
Well, then that didn't work. So then they started saying, well, now animals are spreading it. So cats and dogs are giving it to you. They're getting it. Kangaroos are getting it. Okay. And then I guess they just ran out of damn animals. I don't know. But do you remember how many arguments that there was?
They don't want to
over
go
that.
But yes, but they don't want to go. They want those were floated as a distraction from the fact that these labs had been trading this stuff like baseball cards. Do you remember like 5 years ago, they had some mail service or whatever had live smallpox smallpox samples being sent in the goddamn mail.
Yes. Yes.
What in the world was
nobody cared.
Thank goodness, thank God, they didn't escape. Okay?
Right.
But that was caught in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and it did not kill 10 million, 100 million, 500 million people.
Right.
It was only by luck that it did not.
Right. But too, you think about, okay, so smallpox.
I will say luck and proper safeguards by somebody somewhere, because I don't want to count it as luck. Somebody saw that and said, "Oh shit."
Well, and then two, was it really that? Was it actually the smallpox? It could have been something else. Yeah, because they're not going to freaking tell us.
Whatever it was, it was enough to create a ripple in the pond, as it were. At that time and place. But it told you that at least it let us know that the pond was there, and we ignored it. And we ignored. Oh well, that's just that's nothing to worry about. That's just an oddball thing. It'll never happen. Nothing like that could ever really happen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Until it does.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things that the previous administration did to cut was the preparedness angle for this. From the Center for Disease Control. Their budget was cut by something like 3/4 between 2016 and 2018. And that's a real it's a real problem that happened, that kind of thing can happen, because that you don't shoot your watchdogs and then complain that the foxes got your chickens. you know
Can you hear me?
yes,
Can
now I can. Now I hear you.
My
Did I
microphone fell
hear?
over. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, my God, he just got this working for me. Let me
Oh.
find something else to screw up.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Papa. I had to shut down my camera. I've got 5 damn live animals running around. But anyway.
I'm sorry. Too serious.
It's something that just keeps coming up over and over and over again with us. Yeah. I mean, with this, and I think we talked about a lot of this last week too. Yes. It's hard to swallow all the bullshit that they keep throwing down your throat, and then you find somebody that
it would be so nice if they would just for a few minutes, accept the fact that this didn't have to happen. This was not an intentional political act by I just can't believe that. Okay.
Agenda 21, sweetheart. United Nations.
I know, but I'm not completely on board with that one yet.
We need to talk.
No, but and only because of this. Only because of this. If their intent were to kill 1 billion people, there are easier ways to do it. There are less disruptive ways to do it than what they're doing.
You gotta make it look natural.
This isn't it.
You can't be obvious about it.
Well, at that point, I don't think it would necessarily matter. Okay?
Well, they've got to do something to get the masses to follow them.
This is disruptive because it is corrosive to the basis, our basic vision of reality, our shared reality. If we don't have a shared reality, if everybody is on their own, if everything is on its own, if there is no common basis, then it's like it's all out the window.
Well, but I mean, if you get us against them.
Well, the point is, we know it's them against us. It's just who the them is. And I think that there is a greater them, and not greater, but a higher up the hierarchy them, that is a very small percentage that wants to make sure that each and every possible faction of the greater part of humanity, whether it be Americans or Russians, blacks against whites, browns against yellows, men against women, are constantly and completely at war with one another to the point where they're safe.
Women really run the world, just saying, but they have to make us look weak.
Yes, by making us distrust one another.
Yes, of course, that's what they've always done. That's why they're really pulling that race card now.
Ooh.
That really helps. And then you've got Black Lives Matters that came out of that. And then what was it? The Proud Boys or some kind of stupid crap that come out of that. And I don't, I mean, it's just, just if everybody was fine before. They didn't like it, so they fixed it. And now everything's politicized. I'm unvaccinated. You're vaccinated. And we're supposed to freaking hate each other. Now they're going to put me in a FEMA camp somewhere sometime.
I'll come get you. I'll break you.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take me alive. Just saying.
Well, if they catch you unawares and they drag you in, we'll make sure. We'll make
Yeah.
sure.
But
We will cut the wire.
right. But and it's like, and I've had questions asked of me. Why are you not vaccinated? Well, because I'm isolated as all get out. I mean, between work and where I live
Mhm.
in my social life, I've made damn sure that I was isolated. My party was out here on the balcony.
Hmm.
I mean, and then too, people were getting the vaccinations and they were sick. Just a side effect. But I'm sorry, at all costs, I don't want to be sick. I got stuff I got to do. I have to go to work. I have things I have to take care of. I can't lay on my butt for 3 days with 104 fever, begging to die, just hoping to get through the next couple of days. And then to do that 3 times? Nope.
Yeah.
Now I'm guilty of maybe a self-inflicted hangover, but I ain't doing that.
As a fully vaccinated American,
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much within the first month when I was available to get the shots, I started them.
Mm-hmm.
But I have COPD. I have breathing difficulties, and
yes,
that I said actually that by itself was not enough. I have other family members who, my sister just had a heart attack. My brother-in-law has, and these are people that I live with.
Right.
And I said, I can't, I will not
be the cause.
I will not be the cause of carrying this in and giving it to them.
Right. And see, and that's
beyond myself, beyond
right.
the danger to myself.
Right. And that's and that's what people need to do. This is your choice.
Yes.
Whether you're going to take it or
and
not.
I will say that my side effects from the virus from the vaccine were absolutely minor.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what? And then I get looked down at because I haven't had a vaccination. Not by everybody, just talking about in general, the way that they're preaching this stuff. And God, my fucking animals, I swear to God. Anyway.
You're just suspicious.
Well, this is true.
Anytime
I'm a little crafty.
Hey, look, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Anytime
somebody wants me to do something, I've always
and that's not exactly the reason that I didn't do it. I didn't need to.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I've never had the flu. I'm not going to go get the flu shot. I've lived through however many years of flu season, and I've worked in the public, and I've had people sit in my office coughing and hacking, going, "Oh my God, I just left the doctor's office, and they told me I had the flu," and then they just
yeah,
which is dumb, because now if you did that, people would throw you in a plastic bag somewhere because they'd be afraid that you were contaminated. But
I just had a vision of one of the. Do you remember Get Smart?
I do.
Where they had the cone of silence come down out of the ceiling. Yeah, we need more of those.
We do need more of that.
Yeah.
But I'm just, because I've not taken it, and then see, there was another lie. Vaccinated people can't spread it. They can't get it. Unvaccinated people are going to kill fucking everybody. Well, if I'm killing another unvaccinated person, since the vaccinated people can't get it, why do you care? Because we're all
Well,
unvaccinated and you want us all gone
I can
anyway.
tell you for a fact that
Then they changed that story.
fully vaccinated people do get something.
Well, this is true.
I'm just in the recovery mode.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
From whatever the hell I got.
Right.
Which
But that's what I'm getting at.
Well, let me see. I tested positive, and I showed all the symptoms of the COVID, Omicron, whatever.
Right.
Okay. So, okay, that's what I got. I'm satisfied with that. But fortunately, I'm thinking my brother-in-law had the same thing, and he ended up with 9 days in the hospital, and some of the time it was very serious. Mm-hmm. I had 2 days of chills and fever. Mm-hmm. So I'm,
But see, that's what I'm getting at is that in the beginning, that's what they were telling you.
Yes.
If you get vaccinated, you can't get it, you can't spread it. Then it was like, well, you might be able to spread it, but you can't get it. Then 2 boosters, number 3 going in is like, oh crap, dude, y'all, we can't stop it. We can't stop y'all from getting it. Maybe it'll be down, won't be so bad on you when it happens.
Yeah. Well,
and a lot of the people, there was a report that come out about that 75% of the people that died from the first round of COVID mm-hmm. had 4 or more underlying health conditions.
Well, there's that.
See? And that's the thing. Well, and I don't know if I have an underlying health condition. I may get COVID tomorrow and die from it. I don't know. Mm. I'm pretty damn mean, though. Go down and fight me.
Well, there are no, as is so often the case, there are known comorbidities and unknown comorbidities. Okay. All right. I'm close contact with a couple of RNs, and mm-hmm. this previous wave was very. There were a lot of younger men mm-hmm. who were having it and having severe heart problems that hadn't really shown up on any of the particular other variants. It was a minor, as far as the virus is concerned, it was a minor difference in the way it was presenting. It was more, but it seriously affected a group, and I gave them that whether they had no particular history of heart disease, but it was affecting them in a fashion that created heart problems. Right. So, and it's details.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't tell anybody the details. And don't tell them the side effects.
Oh no.
And by God, you're not going to hold us responsible for it.
Oh, and that has always, that has and will always continue to be.
Yes.
Look. Somebody's going to have to pay for this.
It'll be us.
But nobody. But as long as it's not Pfizer or Moderna mm-hmm. or whoever. No,
I still think Fauci needs to go to jail.
There should always be. If you're willing to take the money, okay, mm-hmm. you should take the responsibility along with it.
Well, see, you remember in the beginning.
There's a reasonable amount of response. No, that doesn't mean that it's just being responsible. It's just being responsible for doing the best you can. It doesn't mean that I'm, because I sell you a vaccine, it doesn't mean you're going to be immortal forever.
Right.
I'm not selling that. I'm giving you the best professional, informed product that I can.
Mm-hmm.
and that's good enough. But don't write that off
Mm-hmm.
because some other son of a bitch that dips into a barrel of monkey piss and sells it as anti-vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
that fucker should go to jail.
Right.
And I don't want to give the bad guy
Mm-hmm.
a pass just because the good guy should get a pass. Nobody gets a pass.
No, but the hospitals made some bank. They sure did, because whenever they were given however many COVID cases they took care of, and a death was a lot more money than just taking care of them. So, there's that. And why is that not really being taken into consideration with all of this other stuff?
That's one of those things that's history's going to show more than although the stories did come out rather early
Mm-hmm.
Of that happening. Like so many other things, though, the problem with that story is that story is so fucking horrific
Mm-hmm.
that people do not want to even consider it as a possibility in reality.
Well, I mean, but that's what was going on, and we all knew it.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Right.
I'm just saying that nobody wanted it to happen. Okay.
No, but do you remember when you were
there's a tendency to say, "Oh no, that's just not real," and to close your eyes to it.
Do you remember but you were talking about earlier about all of the morticians or the
yes.
Okay.
Not the the oh God.
Coroners.
Yes. Coroners. Yes.
There's money in that, man.
Well, the coroners,
they made a lot of money.
The coroners got
hey, if it's something, they had to go pick those bodies up.
Generally, okay.
So you got your state, but see, the state pays or the county pays your coroner. We could go down this rabbit hole for the next 10 hours, and we ain't never getting out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's already almost 6:30.
Yeah.
Or 7:30. Sorry, 6:30
yeah.
my time. I'm in the good time.
I don't want to.
You don't want to think like that, do you?
No. But I will. I do, and I have. Okay.
Right.
But I'm willing to set that aside to maintain a civil functionality today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think that's what I'm looking for, is to maintain communications across the lines enough to remember that we're all in this boat together.
Right.
And stop drilling holes in the bottom of the boat.
Yeah. Well, the Titanic sunk, so I guess we'll go down with it too.
I don't. Maybe the water's not that deep.
Could be. We'll find out.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but anyways, so we've burned up the hour, griping and complaining. We're getting good at this.
I hope Bobby has some really good, relaxing music for us tonight.
He doesn't play tonight.
Oh, he doesn't play. That's right.
This is
Oh,
Tuesday.
Wait. Is Kevin coming on tonight?
Kevin and Russ's show will not be on tonight, but I think he's working on a playlist for me to throw on Mixler here after a while.
Oh my God, there's Lorraine.
Of course, beautiful. You show up now.
Yeah,
we're fixing to end the show. Lorraine shows up. Sister, we're gonna have to work on your timing.
Well, it's 6:30 now. From now on Tuesday, 6:30. We'll try to. I'm going to try to be nice next week. I'm trying to not be triggered. I've got some of my energy back from my recovery.
Well, now in your defense, you've been locked up for 2 weeks. So.
Oh well, yeah. There's that.
Yeah. I didn't shut the windows out now.
That and a foot and a half of snow.
Yeah.
So, actually got outside today. So all good.
It is all good. All right.
See, I made up my mind early on that 2022 was going to be a better year.
Well, you're sucking at it so far, Charles.
The first month of it kind of kicked me in the ass just to make to keep me honest. But I'm not giving up yet. There are a lot of things I want to do this year, and I'm going to have.
And we are just 18 days in.
Yep.
We got a whole bunch more to go. Okay. Well.
So, thank everybody for coming today. It has been an interesting conversation, and we have probably not making things better, but all we want to do is keep the lines open, and I guess that's good enough. And Ufi's got a selection there that it's very good, a very good interview. So I guess that's it for tonight.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. Join us on Mixler, probably, I would say, at 9 Eastern, and we'll have some music going on. So,
okay.
Good night, Charles.
Good night, dear.
Good night, everybody.